Good morning, students. Sorry. So this right here, assignment 25, is called "Should this dog be called Spot?" activity, and it's kind of like assignment 24, where you had to actually figure out the puppy based off of the parents' chromosomes. Remember, you have a mom puppy and a daddy puppy. They come together to make a baby, and here's kind of half the DNA from the mom dog. It's on a chromosome, and half the DNA from a dad dog. And remember, these two come together to actually make a pair. So we have this pair right here, this pair right here. This codes for a trait. This pair right here makes a trait, and this pair right here makes a trait. All right. So procedure, step one, look at, excuse me, look at your two chromosomes for your puppy. Highlight the phenotypes and genotype chart. Which phenotype and genotype the puppy has based off of chromosomes. Remember, phenotype is physically what it looks like. Genotype is the code for that physical trait. So first we have from mom capital L, lowercase l. Then we see that's already highlighted. Capital L, lowercase l, that is going to be long hair. That's going to be dominant as well too. Remember, one capital letter means it's dominant. Next we have TT. So looking for the T's, we have a little t and we have a big T. So over here we have, there it is, little t, big T. I'm going to highlight that. And it's going to be for long hair, long tail, excuse me. Notice how we wrote the little t first. That is different, not the same. Next one is H's. We have big H, little h. So we have big H, excuse me, for that code. And that's going to be that trait of those chromosomes, code for the trait of curly hair. And then last we have big A, little a. Big A, little a. And that's going to be a solid coat pattern. So we have a puppy that has long hair, long tail, curly hair, and a solid coat pattern. Let's fill out our chart below here. Turn this off. So the first one was for the hair length. We had big L, little l, which we highlighted, and that's long hair. Are these letters the same or are they different? All right. So they're different. That's going to be heterozygous, which means they're different. All right. Big L, little l, that codes for long hair. And is it dominant or recessive? Dominant means it occurs more often than the recessive trait. If there's one capital letter, it's dominant. As long as there's one, it's going to be dominant. Tail length. The next one's going to be for the T's. So we have big T, little t is the genotype. Now, is this the same or different? These are different once again. So for different, it's going to be heterozygous. And we know it's going to be a long tail. From our chart here, the phenotype, long tail. And there's at least one capital letter, which means the dominant, excuse me, trait. Next, we have hair curliness. For that, we had big H, big H. Those are the same. So the word for same is going to be homozygous. And we know it's going to be curly hair because there's at least one capital letter that's going to be dominant. And then last we have coat pattern. We found out it was big A, big A. These are the same, so it's going to be homozygous for heterozygous. We know same means homozygous. And the phenotype is a solid coat. And because there's one capital letter, we know it's dominant. So we see all the traits are dominant, okay? There are no recessive traits. All right, questions below. Which of the puppy's traits were recessive? I look at my table up here. For any of these traits, recessive? None. None of them were recessive. And how do we know that? Well, because none of them had two lowercase letters, or they all had at least one capital letter. So they all had one capital letter, and none had two lowercase letters. Okay? The only way it's recessive is to have two lowercase letters. Question number 2. Which of the puppy's traits were dominant? Now we see the traits are here. Which ones are dominant? All of them. All of them were dominant. How do we know they were dominant? Well, we saw they at least had one capital letter. They had one or two capital letters. You hear question number 3. Which of the puppy's traits were homozygous? This word homozygous means same letters, right? So which of the traits were homozygous? Back to our tables here. So, homozygous. So we see hair length, nope. Tail length, same, nope. Hair curliness, yes. And coat pattern, okay? So we have hair curliness, coat pattern. Now, sorry about that. How do we know that they are homozygous? Well, homo means the same because they have two of the same letters, right? They both had two of the same letters. Which of the puppy traits were heterozygous? Question number 4. Back to our chart here. Traits, heterozygous means different. Well, we know that hair length is different and tail length is different. Okay, so we have hair length, tail length. How do we know that? Well, heterozygous means different letters because they had two different letters. Now, question number 5. How many total chromosomes do you have? So each human being, how many do we have? Look it up on the internet if you don't know. Okay, it's on your own. Question 6. Where do you get your chromosomes from? Well, where do you get your DNA from? Where did the puppy get their chromosomes from? From who? From the mom and the dad. So where do you get your chromosomes from? Question 7. Why do chromosomes always come in pairs? These two questions are pretty much related. And here's kind of a deeper thinking question here. Why is it important for your long-term health to understand your parents' DNA? And how does your parents' DNA affect you? So why should I understand how my parents' DNA works? Why should I understand about their health problems? How does their DNA affect me? If you have any questions, let us know.